It's another episode of the Pin High Podcast presented by Golficity. This week we're going to be talking about Jim Herman's win at the Wyndham Championship, the U.S. Am, and preview the Northern Trust and the start of the FedEx Cup playoffs, and cap it off with birdies and bogeys of the week. All right, episode 42 of the Pin High Podcast.
Jackie Robinson episode.
Yeah, Jackie Robinson, Mariano Rivera episode. As you probably noticed by now, Pat's not here this week. We had to put him on the IL. Had his tonsils out last week, so he can't really talk right now. So not great for a podcast.
He got him out on Wednesday, and then he wasn't sure if he was able to do this on Tuesday, which is right now. And he's still on the IL for at least another week. So.
Yeah, we hope to have him back next week. We'll see. As I had to do the intro this week, so that was tough.
a lot of pressure for Jeek right there.
Yeah, I know that was a lot. Anyway, I guess we'll jump right into the Wyndham Championship. Jim Herman got the win last week. You know what? Kind of the guy I didn't really want to win. I wasn't like rooting against him, but like you saw all the guys on the leaderboard behind him, where it was like Billy Horschel, Kevin Kisner, Doc Redman,
Webb Simpson's right there. Reed's like top 10.
Reed, like guys that we picked, plus guys that like we just like to see win. They were out there. Yeah, they were out there right behind Jim Herman, and it kind of sucked that he was the one that won. Like out of all the guys in the stretch.
Nothing against Jim Herman. Like he seems like a great guy, and he's won. But like he won this week, obviously. But he's crazy that he has more wins than Tony Finau, Tommy Fleetwood. I think there's one more combined on the PGA Tour.
He has like 3 wins, I think.
Yeah, he has 3
I think
wins.
all of his wins have come over the age of 35. So like he just found something late in his career.
I remember when he won his first tournament a couple of years ago. I forgot where it was, but it was very emotional. It was like very cool. Like, he used to be a club pro, right. And then he won. I think not the Barracuda, but something like that.
One of those, yeah.
Last year, and then obviously something like this. But he went from like 162 to 54 in the FedEx Cup.
So I was thinking like we didn't really think about that last week when we were going into our picks, like what guys need to make a jump into that top 125 to like.
I mean, we kind of thought about like Charles Schwartzel was 125th. I think Pat said when he did it, and he obviously didn't play that well. But like there are some guys who needed to like make a lot bigger jump that we didn't even really think about that would be a factor. Obviously, Herman's one of those guys.
And like, yeah, I wasn't surprised to see somebody like Jim Herman win this tournament because like they needed their best golf, and they needed to play well to make it all the way up into that top 25.
All those guys in like the 150 to like 200 range, like we probably didn't expect at all. And like, but those were really the guys like, okay, like I have to play well. Like if I have to get my tour card. I have to get into the playoffs and everything. So it's cool that he's like he got it, and he'll be back on the tour next week too.
So little bubble talk. First 4 in, first 4 out.
Yeah.
I guess it's 3 in this case. ZJ ended up coming back in. He had strong last 2 weeks. You love to see ZJ.
He's one of those guys. Classy guy on tour. Just you need like if he's in, you're like okay, it's like a mainstay on tour.
And then another major championship, and Shane Lowry played his way in this week, and Pat openly hated him last week. But once again, he was one of those bubble guys. He needed to play well to get in. So I wasn't surprised, even though Pat hated on him and he played really well.
Pat hated on him and Harold Varner. And
I love how Pat's not here, so we could just like openly hate on him. But he hated Harold Varner on this podcast, right? He's like, oh, he's not a good putter. I don't like Harold Varner, and then he picked him in his DraftKings lineup the day after.
And he won the DraftKings lineup.
Right? Yeah. So I don't know. And then obviously Jim Herman.
That was so funny.
Jim Herman's the third guy in. Made the biggest jump out of anyone in the field. Who's out? Fabian Gomez drops out, Russell Knox, and as we mentioned before, Charles Schwartzel, who was at that 125 mark, so he jumps out.
So it's not really like Charles Schwartzel's the biggest name, and Russell Knox, people know Russell Knox, but it's not really a bunch of like, oh, it's not like Tiger's out.
I feel like there was like usually when you come around to the Wyndham, there's a lot of drama because like there's guys that like need to like birdie the last hole to make it in or something like that, and I felt like there wasn't really that drama this week. Like,
exactly. That's what I'm hoping for this week. I'm hoping because like it's like top 70 make it in next week, and Koepka's on the outside, Fleetwood's on the outside. Like a lot of people are on the outside that need to get in, and so I'm looking forward to seeing the scenarios coming down to the final couple holes and that.
Yeah. And I honestly didn't even look. I mean, let's do a little bubble talk right now. So we're looking at the top 70 right now. So guys who are on the bottom of the top 70 here, you have from 66 down, Bubba Watson, Phil Mickelson 67, Norlander 68, Brian Harmon 69, and Zane Shinjun
Zane.
Zane is 70. And then when you go outside the top 70, there's a couple guys outside the top 70. 71, Sepp Straka. 72, our guy Harry Higgs, Harold Varner. Let's see if I can find any more notable
Harry
names.
Varner must have jumped. He must have jumped up a decent amount last week too.
Yeah, Siwoo Kim, who we'll get into later, is at 82, so he needs to jump. Ches Reavie, 83. Ian Poulter.
Come on, Ches.
Ian Poulter's 85. Ricky Fowler, 88. Tommy Fleetwood, 89.
Yeah. Koepka's right there.
As you mentioned, Koepka is 97 right now in the outside. Jordan Spieth is 100.
Oh my god.
So Justin Rose hasn't had a great year. He's at 109. So there's a lot of big names outside that top 70 that need to make moves this week.
We'll be watching those. I'll be watching like Koepka and Spieth closely, trying to see what they do, especially Spieth.
Exactly.
I hope Spieth gets like plays well this week and gets close to the Tour Championship.
Spieth usually makes it to the Tour Championship. Like he's
pretty a mainstay on that.
He hasn't been playing great the last couple of years, but he always makes it to the Tour Championship. So it's seeing him at 100. He needs to make a move this week. He's just like one of those guys.
Week by week, I'm just hoping he gets into next week at Olympia Fields.
Right. Yeah. Same. So I guess we can move on to the USAM now. We didn't really talk about it that much last week, but USAM was this week.
I didn't realize it was on until we finished recording. And I looked at my phone. It was like a USAM preview, and I was like, of course, the one we forgot to talk about.
I love the USAM. It was
USAM's awesome.
It was at Bandon Dunes this year, which is such an unreal course. I love that course so much. I honestly didn't get to watch a lot of it though, which is unfortunate.
Neither did I.
But there was some storylines this week. I think the biggest storyline was the first day. I think it was the caddy touching the sand in the bunker, and he got his player DQ'd on the 18th hole. That was went viral.
And you know how that was against Strafacci.
Right, yeah, who ended up winning it all.
Yeah.
Which whatever, that just sucks. Like that's a pretty bad golf fail. I mean, I think it was a local caddy too, and like I don't know what he was thinking. Hear?
He clearly you can see the video. He clearly moved the sand, tested the sand to see what it was like, and then he immediately denied it. Like he denied doing it, which is the most.
Dude, there's cameras all over you.
There's cameras everywhere. You're at the USAM. You're not at some country club random tournament. You're at the USAM. They're gonna find you, especially on you literally bent down and just did touch the sand. Nobody was not gonna see that. And there are rules officials around you too. I just don't think it's hard to think of a worse way to lose if you're a player than something that you didn't do, your caddy did to ruin it, kind of. I mean, obviously, it's just unfortunate. And Strafacci ended up winning because he won that match and then he ended up winning the title. But it's just so unfortunate. So
Oliva Pinto, I think, was the player, and his caddy was just a local Bandon looper, and whatever. He's been a caddy couple for other USAMs and stuff. So he obviously knows what he's doing. So I don't really know why he.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know what's going through his mind when he decides to test the sand in the middle of a USAM on the 18th hole of the USAM. That confuses the hell out of me.
I mean, on the 18th hole to lose the match.
Exactly. Yeah.
That's tough. Whatever he said. Pinto was good about it. People kind of praised him as being someone who's our age, not being all pissed off at the caddy or anything like that. So
that's good. That's good. That's good to hear. But I feel like the caddy's got to feel sick about it.
Oh yeah, he's probably still.
But yeah.
So Strafacci ended up winning it over Ollie Osborne from SMU in the final. He only won one up, so last hole was a big one.
Do you see I watched the So I was traveling. I was going back down to school all weekend. So
Yeah,
Friday
we
and
were
Saturday, I
doing
was
we
back
did a
to
whole
school.
reverse we did a little reverse travel. Trevor went from
Yeah,
Connecticut to South Carolina. I went from South Carolina
exactly.
To Connecticut.
Yeah.
So
So I'm back at school, and so I completely forgot I was on until Sunday night, and my dad texted me. He's like, "You watching the USM?" And I turn it on, and it's like the 34th hole, and literally there's fog. You can't see anything. The fog is like you can't see the fairway. You can't see the tee like the green. Like the fog is everywhere, and it looks so cool. It's like all like just two players on the course, and like they're going down the stretch. And so I turned it on. It was Osborne had a no Strafacci had a two hole lead, and then they went through like the whole because they played 36 holes in the final match, and they went
mhm.
through the whole all 36 holes to see what it was like what the match was at, and Osborne was up 5 after 14 on the front first 18. Strafacci came all the way back and tied it at like the 20th hole, and then um, he went all the way down to I think he was like he was leading with 2 up with like 2 to
Two to
play.
play. Yeah, and then they
Hit it on
tied it.
17. Hit like Osborne hits like 10 feet. Strafacci hit in the hazard again, and they're coming on the 18. It's a par 5, and they both go for it in 2. And Strafacci hits an unbelievable shot to like 15 feet to have a chance to win for eagle. And it was the ending was it wasn't as epic as like the rest of the match seemed, but
Hmm.
because Osborne missed a putt for birdie, and after Strafacci missed his eagle putt, but still like and the scenery was crazy. Like you can't see like I'm telling you, you could not see anything off the
That's
tee.
crazy. I mean,
All you can see is they're like ball flights, like the shot tracer just go into like the fog. That's it. Like that's all you could see. Really cool to watch.
good stuff. I love the USAM. And it's also like just fun to see, like watch the USAM and then like see some of these guys on the PGA Tour a couple years later. So,
Yeah, and I love the whole I love watching match play golf. It's like the Ryder Cup. I love watching match play. And so like if it was like stroke play, it wouldn't be I feel like it wouldn't be as entertaining. But like match play, like the huge bracket for that, like it's like the
mhm.
Dell Technologies. It's like it's so much. It makes it so much more entertaining.
I
And so
love it
much.
when I also just love it when like obviously it's a lot of college kids and like young
Yeah,
guys. I love it when there's like the occasional like old guy. Like
yeah.
you just have like
There's
a 40-year old
Haggis,
40.
I mean,
Yeah, exactly.
like Hagestad's always there.
Right,
There are
and he always
a
plays well.
couple other guys, yeah. But mostly it's like I kai for a guy a couple years ago at a USM qualifier, and he's like 31, and he said basically that like the field is just run by college kids, like it's just all
Right.
college kids, and just like a lot of the older guys like don't even have like a chance, pretty much.
Well, I mean, if you win a USM, like that puts your name on the map.
Oh
Well,
yeah,
pretty much,
you're playing. I
and
mean,
you're pretty much gonna end up on the tour. Yeah. So
you're playing in the Masters, you're playing in
yeah,
the U.S. Open. Like
right.
Hovland won it what 2 years ago
Hmm.
or last year at Pebble Beach, didn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Hovland did
like
win.
and like DeChambeau, like anyone you could think of won the USM.
Right. So that's fun. What else can we talk about? PGA Tour 2K21's coming out soon.
New trailer came out this morning, I
I
think,
honestly did not
and
watch the trailer, so I haven't
I
gotten there
literally
yet.
just watched it before, and it was like it's like Schoolboy Q, Justin Thomas, a
Here,
couple other guys.
I'll watch it right now.
Yeah,
Live watching.
School like they're all playing the game. It looks they're having a lot of fun. It looks epic though.
Justin Thomas, Schoolboy Q, The Miz, um,
There's getting heated.
Shooter McGavin.
No, it's I think it looks honestly it's one of those games where I'm gonna get it regardless of like how much money is probably because I just
Yeah.
want like
I think
I
it'd be
want like
fun.
I haven't played one of those games in so long since like the like Rory McIlroy and Tiger Woods
I
games on the
mean,
Wii.
Pat and I have been playing the golf club, um,
Yeah.
which it's
Mm,
fun, but it doesn't have any like golfers. Like it doesn't have any real golfers on it, so it's kind
yeah.
of annoying. Um,
This will be much better than
Throwback
that.
to like Tiger Woods PGA, like where it had like all the
Those
golfers.
games are
Those
so
games are
much
so
fun.
good.
So
Yeah.
much fun. So
So
I'm
yeah,
definitely I'm looking
that
forward to
comes
that. I'm
out.
definitely gonna get it.
That
I
comes out
thought
in
it
a
came
couple
out in
days.
August.
2 days,
Yeah,
I
it comes out
think.
2 days.
Yeah.
I'll get it. I'll get
Yeah,
it
so
then.
that should be good. Our Monday hypothetical this week, kind of just thought of it on the fly because like you guys didn't help me at all. Um, best halfway house snack.
So
Got any thoughts on that?
my go-to is I think we've said this before, but my go-to is I get like a hot dog, bottle of water and like a Snickers or Reese's. I just think that's like just like
It's a good one.
pretty much like it's like almost like a lunch, not a full like lunch, but like it's like close to it.
Yeah, my
And like
answer,
and maybe if depending what I'm doing, like if I'm like that's like if I'm like playing regular, but if I'm playing like with friends or something like that, then I'll maybe get like a beer or something like that or a transfusion.
yeah, my
Ideally,
answer
I'd get
was
transfusion.
a transfusion to calm me down after a terrible front nine
Yeah.
and a couple hot dogs.
I'll say transfusion. If you can get a transfusion at halfway house, that's the ideal halfway house snack.
Couple of answers: cold, not frozen Snickers. Snickers is a big one. Snickers, beef jerky,
Snickers.
spicy peanuts. Someone said a banana and an ice blue Gatorade.
Snickers is big.
Two glizzies and whatever's on tap.
Two glizzies.
And a classic turkey sandwich.
Honestly, just bring me back to Harbor Town and give me a transfusion hot dog from the halfway house, and I'll be set. That's all I need.
I think my dad thought I was crazy because I had like two transfusions like through like 11 or something.
Yeah.
I was playing terrible at Harbor Town, but we'll get into that later.
That might have been the reason why you played terrible.
I mean, my bogey of the week, you're gonna laugh.
Yeah.
Okay, so FedEx Cup playoffs coming up this week with the Northern Trust. Tigers in for the FedEx Cup playoffs. I mean, not surprised, but good to see.
No,
that.
not surprised. But I'm very, very interested to see how he plays.
It's amazing how Tiger stays in the top 125, even though he's played 5 events.
Well, I think it's because he won at like Zozo. I think that was part of the season, and he's played like decent in a couple of like other tournaments. But like, I guess that one win.
Everybody in here has played like a bunch of events, right? Top 125.
He's probably played like 5.
And then there's Tiger who's played 5.
Yeah.
There's Adam Scott who played 8 because he passed on a couple of events.
Yeah.
Because of coronavirus.
He just came back up.
Yeah, Tyrell Hatton's only played 8 too, but when he's played the 8, he's played sick in like 7 of the 8. So
I would love for Tiger to play well, but I can't see him like competing like that much. I mean,
Tiger's at 49 right now, so I would assume he stays in the top 70, so he's safe for next week.
That's why I think he's gonna kind of treat this as a warm up week, and like because he knows. I think he chose the right tournament to come back on too, because he's played TPC Boston and he's played really well here at TPC Boston.
Right.
So I think he could kind of treat this as, okay, if I can go out and play well here, I know I can do that. But if I don't play best, it's like not the end of the world, and I'm still in it for next week. And like, so I think he'll be playing the next 3 weeks if he qualifies for all 3. So, and then the U.S. Opens after that. So I think he's kind of, if this could lead, like these 3 weeks could lead up to a good Tiger showing at the U.S. Open, which I'm excited about.
Mm-hmm. Speaking of Tiger at the U.S. Open, I don't know if you saw JT and Tiger were playing at Wingfoot yesterday, like kind of on their way to Boston. So
playing at Wingfoot, and they're prepping for the U.S. Open more than they are for the TPC Boston.
I mean, Justin Thomas is sitting pretty.
He doesn't
at
need
number
to do
1 in the FedEx Cup standings.
He can play Wingfoot all week if he wanted to, and not worry about
the cup both weeks and be fine.
Exactly.
Other more Tiger news. I don't know if you saw this. He caddied for his son Charlie at an event this week, and Charlie was like 3 under and like crushed the field.
He's 11 years old.
I know.
11 years old, and he's shooting 3 under on like a 9 hole. When I was 11 years old, I thought I was good, and I was shooting 50s. I couldn't break. If I broke 50, I was happy.
Probably couldn't even hit the ball like past the tee. Like
the picture is hilarious because it's like this dad and like his other random kid.
Uh-huh.
And then Tiger's son's wearing pants, like he's walking with a club in his hand, and Tiger's just walking behind,
dad.
carrying the bag. Imagine you're caddying for your son in a group, and Tiger's like Tiger's the caddy for you.
I mean, I don't know. Imagine being the other 11-year-old kid. Like, I would shank my first tee shot,
God.
like with Tiger behind me. Yeah.
Like, imagine you're like on the first tee, and like you're caddying for your son, and like Tiger and Charlie Woods walk over to her, and Tiger's like, "Hi, I'm Tiger. Nice to meet you." Mm-hmm. Like let's have a fun day today.
Hey, I'm Eldrick.
I'm Eldrick. Like, should I call you Tiger? Big boss man? Go? Like, what do you want me to call you? That would be caddying with Tiger would be the coolest thing in the world. I think, like the coolest thing in the world. Let alone play with him,
crazy,
but it'd be awesome.
So yeah, that kind of shows you where his head's at for this week. He was caddying his son and playing at Winged Foot.
It's also like he's going to Northern Trust and he's caddying for his son at a tournament and he's playing at Winged Foot. Like I feel like he's just not like I feel like he doesn't really need to prepare as much, but like he's just I feel like he truly is treating this week as a warm up week.
Watch him come out,
which I'm fine
week.
with.
Okay, we'll get into betting right now. There's one more thing that you put in here. PGA Tour partners of points bets to further increase betting associations.
Yeah. So they partnered. PGA Tour has betting partnerships with PointsBet and BetMGM, and they're already partnered with DraftKings. Stuff. So I love the whole. Like, and PGA Tour was one of the first like leagues or tours or whatever it was
to get into the betting.
Yeah, to get into betting. That was like a couple months ago or a few months ago, and then like they're the only ones that really pushing for, which I love. I think that gets people more into. I know like my friends here, like they're gonna like they're betting on PGA Tour.
I don't think people understand.
I
don't think people understand how much fun betting on golf is.
It is like I realized the past like few weeks, it's like this is like betting on the PGA Tour is a lot of fun, and it's like you can do one round, you can do the whole week, you can it gets you invested
there's
for a whole week.
Nothing better than picking a winner, like because the payout is so much when you get a winner, right? Like and picking a winner is the best feeling in the world. Yeah, you're down
the stretch, and like your winner's like coming up 18, like he needs like a putt to win, and like that's like the best feeling in the world. Like it's there's nothing like it, and I think PGA Tour is doing a great job of just like exposing themselves and expanding the brand.
Talking about betting odds and stuff on broadcast. Yeah, I love that.
Yeah.
So speaking of betting, we'll get right into it this week. The Northern Trust first round of the FedEx Cup playoffs. Yeah. Yep. We didn't have an intro this week. First round of the FedEx Cup playoffs. Last event of the year with a cut. All 125 players are going to be playing this week. The top 70, as we mentioned before, advances to the BMW next week. The course this week, we're going to be at TPC Boston, which has been a fixture on the PGA Tour for quite some time now, except for last year. 73-42 because they got rid of an event. It used to be an event. I forget.
Yeah, when they moved, like they changed the playoff format.
Yeah, they changed it to 3 instead of 4. So TPC Boston used to be that first event. I'm blanking out the name of what it was, but anyway, 73-42.
It was the Dell Technologies.
The Dell Technologies, yeah, that's exactly what it was. So it's now in the Northern Trust rotation. 73-42 yards, par 71, bent grass, which you see in the Northeast. There's gonna be a lot of scoring this week. I mean, as the previous winners, 2018 and beyond have been around like 18 to 20 under or so.
Yeah, around that,
give or take, in that area, in that range. Almost half of the approach shots do come from over 175 yards, so that's going to be a key stat this week. Proximity from 175 plus. The fairways are slightly easier to hit this week. There's a couple drivable par 4s, which are on 1 and 4, so you really got to score on the front 9 this week to play well. There's also a couple par 5s that are reachable in 2. Players who've had the most strokes gained, I saw this stat somewhere at TP Boston in the last 5 events, Ricky Fowler, Rory McIlroy, Paul Casey, Gary Woodland, and Patrick Reed. Also, DJ Loki has a couple top 20 finishes the last 3 times he's played at this course. Looking at key stats this week, we're going to go strokes gained approach as we usually do.
As always, yep.
But like again, this week, approaches from 175 and beyond, so you're going to have a lot of long approach shots this week, so that's going to be a very important stat. Strokes gained putting, bent grass greens.
This is like one of the first weeks that strokes gained putting I've seen.
I mean, we had it last
more
week too.
Important. Yeah, but I feel like this like from what I've researched, like this week is strokes gained putting is more important than like a lot of the weeks since like the restart.
If guys are hitting in approach shots from 175, they're not always going to hit it to 10 feet. So strokes gained putting is going to be important because you want to avoid 3 putts, and hopefully nail a couple of long ones if you're not that close.
Yeah.
Also, par 5s gained, as I mentioned before. There's a couple of reachable par 5s, so you need to score well in those holes. Don't want to give up those holes. Strokes gained off the tee. I say it's important, but not as important as the other stats. Because the fairways are slightly easier to hit, but that also kind of means that if you're a bomber, you can play well. I mean, we've seen Bryson won in 2018. Rory
That
won
was
it,
before he was beefed up though.
but he still was hitting bombs.
Yeah, he still
Rory
was, yeah.
won in 2016 when he was hitting bombs. Rory also won in 2012. So bombers could win here, but also shorter hitters do have some success. Ricky Fowler, Webb Simpson, Charlie Hoffman have all won at this course as well. So I mean, go right into the past winners: 2018 to 2010. Bryson, Justin Thomas, Rory, Ricky, Chris Kirk, Henrik Stenson, Rory again, Webb Simpson, Charlie Hoffman.
It's pretty much all big names.
Big names.
It's all like it's all guys who are like top of their game. Like Webb Simpson 2011 when that was before he won the U.S. Open. Like they're all guys who are like in their prime or at the top of their game, which is
yeah, like
good
kind of going in the course horses. Rory has a pretty good record at TPC Boston. He's won twice. Has a couple come from behinds. He's really good in the strokes gained total category, as I said. Also, Phil has won events at TPC Boston. He won in 2007, I think, which is a while ago. But he has a top 10, top 6, top 12, which was top 12 was in 2018, which is the last time they played here. Paul Casey also has good numbers, a couple runner-ups.
of course.
He's been in the mix every time he's played here. And same with Patrick Reed, 3 straight events, 2015, 2017, T6, T5th, T4th. And he always puts well. He always puts well.
Tiger Woods is Tiger's like a big
yeah.
course horse too here. He's played awesome here. Like from 2003 to 2007, he finished like top 10 every single time or something crazy like that. Like when he was like in his peak Tiger.
And then as I mentioned before, Patrick Reed's been playing well here. That's what I just said. Hideki Matsuyama has also played pretty well.
Yeah.
And pretty consistent. So those are some names to look at. High salaries guys we like this week. What did we have last week? Webb Simpson, I think, who finished.
No, we had last week didn't we have Koepka and JT? It says
that was at the PGA.
Oh, okay.
Last week we had Webb Simpson, I think. He finished.
Yeah, we did.
High up.
Webb Simpson was locked last week though.
Yeah, he was at that top 20 bet.
Locked
which we'll get into later.
Yeah,
absolute lock. I thought he was going to win on Sunday too, because just knowing Webb.
Yeah.
So this week, I usually like to stay away from guys this high in salary, but Bryson, I mean, he's a bomber, so first in strokes gained off the tee. He's actually 5th in strokes gained putting this year. The last time we played at TPC Boston, he won. Obviously, he's been in good form all year. I mean, this is an event that Bryson could win.
And then the other guy we love, Kyle Morikawa, and like how can you not love this guy?
Yeah,
10-2 is not one. He's still one of the higher guys, but he's not like the top tier like Bryson or Rory or JT. Like Morikawa, like he's he's gonna hit fairways, he's gonna hit greens, he's gonna make putts. Like he's just all around consistent, like as consistent as it gets. So
also anytime he's been in a tough field, he's played
well.
Well, so
and he's he like knock on wood, but he's gonna make the cut. He's more wins than missed cuts, so he's just gonna make the cut every week and compete.
I mean, how can you not like Colin Morikawa?
Exactly.
I mean, I had to mention it. Okay, so we'll get into our DraftKings picks this week. Patrick has not added his picks into the doc as of right now, so he's got no picks this week. He had Schwartzel got cut. He was a bubble guy last week, so I mean, it was the right choice to pick him, I think.
Yeah, it was.
Rogers was T66, so not a great week for Pat. Doesn't have any picks this week, so we'll see what happens in the next 20 minutes if he adds picks or not. Anyway, I had Poston last week who actually got cut. He had one of those 4 over, 4 under type of performances, so he ended up just even for the week. Got cut by a couple strokes. Can't have that. If he went 4 under, he would have been good. But
yeah.
Harris English had a really good start, but kind of wasn't great towards the end. He ended up finishing T23. And then you didn't have a good week.
No. I had Brendan Todd play well the first day. He was like 4 under or something like that, doing pretty well.
Right.
And then he finished he was +2 the next day and missed the cut by a shot, I'm pretty sure. And Ches Reavie just did not.
Events like that, the cut line ends up at 3 under or something.
Yeah.
So
that's tough. You got to play really well. You got to play pretty well both days, which is hard to do.
So we'll do a little bit of a snake between two of us here. I'll start. I'm going to go with Tyrell Hatton at 8,000. His form has not been good in the last 2 events, but I'm looking for a bounce back week. he actually gained in ball striking at the PGA, but wasn't good with the putter, which is kind of interesting because he was first in strokes gained putting, like pretty much going into that event, and he's now 20th. So he really didn't have a good week putting. But we have different greens this week. We're on bent grass. I expect him to putt better this week. As I mentioned before, he's still a premier ball striker. He's 4th in strokes gained approach, 7th in strokes gained total. If the putter gets back on track this week, I think Tyrell Hatton will go back into his previous form.
Yeah.
And also 8,000, like he's been up in the 9,000s for a while. This is a really strong field. I mean, probably stronger than a major, but I don't know. 8,000 is a pretty good price for Tyrell Hatton.
No, it definitely is. With his stats and the way he's played, just like maybe not the last couple of weeks, but like the past like year, like 2 weeks
just
before that,
year,
like he's great. It's a great value. So I'll go with my first pick, Patrick Reed, at 9,000. We were high on him last week. He played well. I had him my best bet. 9,000 for a guy like Patrick Reed, like he's not like he's not like the top tier, but I like him more than like guys like Koepka's more than him, which I do not like Koepka this week at all.
I mean, I don't know. I might lean Koepka this week just because he's sitting outside of that top 70.
Yeah, that's
so
true.
Like he might turn it on to get back in.
I just the way he's been playing, I can't.
Yeah,
it's just hard for me to see. So then I like him. I like Patrick Reed more than Tiger, and he's only like a couple like $100 more than Tiger.
Right.
So, but he's top 20. Is 3 of his last 4 starts. Played well last week. Played well at the PGA. Like quietly played well at the PGA. He's 9th in strokes gained putting. He always has a knack for winning these
types of events. Yeah.
These type of the Northern Trust. He won it at Bethpage a few years ago. And I think he won it last year too. Mm-hmm. And so he's 3 top 10 finishes at TPC Boston.
He has 3 top 6 finishes at TPC Boston. Not even top 10.
Top 6. So he's like Jeek said, he's a course horse. He's a good putter. He's in really good form. So I think he's a good pick for one of your higher salary guys this week. I think he's a great pick.
Yeah, we'll get a little bit more into Patrick Reed later. I have him in another thing.
So then I have Kevin Na at 6,800. 3rd in strokes gained putting. Obviously one of the best putters in the field. He's not bad at strokes gained approach. Yeah, walk it in. Like he's so much fun to watch. Like 43rd in strokes gained approach from 175 to 200 yards, and 45th in strokes gained approach total is not terrible. Could be a lot worse.
Top
and
50.
For him, for his putting, he's doing much better, and he's in good form. He finished 9th at the Memorial for the hard field and hard greens and fast greens.
Just gotta hope his back holds up. He's another one of those guys with the back issues.
Yeah, so if he plays, he could play pretty well, especially at 6,800.
Go to low salary guy, yeah.
Yeah, awesome low. I think
you're gonna find a lot. It's gonna be a lot of value this week. I mean, this field is stacked. So my next pick, as I mentioned earlier, Siwoo Kim. He's at 7,800. He's hot. Last week he was T3. He was low-key T13 at the PGA. I actually wanted to pick him last week, but he was looking like a popular pick last week, so I kind of stayed away from him. Like I saw him on a couple of websites, and I was like, I don't really want to go with that. Which I probably should have. But anyway, his season stats don't look that great if you look at the full season, because he was kind of struggling early on. But if you look at his stats from the last couple of weeks, he was 3rd in strokes gained approach last week, and he was 15th in strokes gained approach at the PGA. His overall tee to green hasn't been great, but he's found his ball striking out of the fairway. Also, the reason I'm going to pick him this week, he sits at number 82 in the FedEx Cup standings, and he needs to get that jump to 70. And he's been in really good form, so I look to see him. Like he's a guy who needs to play this well this week to get into that top 70, and I look for him to play well this week.
Was he the one who had almost 2 hole-in-ones last week in the same round?
I think that might have been. Was that him or Khan?
We can talk about that too, because that reaction to the hole-in-one was the lamest reaction I've ever seen in my entire life. Like he hit a hole-in-one, he's just like oh, like that's it. Like he was just like he was seeing like didn't even like really care. Went over and like fist bumped his caddy, and that was it. Like that's all that happened.
Was that him or Sung Kang?
I couldn't tell you.
It was Kang made an ace at the Colonial, I know.
Anyway, I think it might have been Siwoo Kim. I really did.
Whatever. He finished T3 last week, and I don't know.
She's playing well.
He's playing well. 7,800 mid-salary guy, needs to get into that top 70, so there's extra motivation there. So that's why I'm gonna go with him. Pat does not have any picks, so he loses this week. Same with winner and bets. So Pat's just not going to get any points next week for the bets portion of the show. So Pat, and he needs them. He sits at 3 points. He had Patrick Reed, who ended up T9, pretty good.
Yeah.
He also had Brendan Todd top 20, who ended up getting cut.
We were all high on Brendan Todd, and we just did. That just did not happen, unfortunately.
I liked him as first round leader. I am in second here with 5 points. I had Neiman the win last week. He actually played pretty well, but he ended up at T43, so not a great last day. And Webb Simpson top 20, that was a lock. I mean, such a lock. I should have bet Webb Simpson top 10, like if I really wanted it.
I'm in first still with 7 points. I'm on a heater right now. I've been tracking all I'm 6 and 4 or something like that right now. I think I've won 4 out of the last 5.
I think I've won 3 in a row. I don't know. I started off really bad, if you remember. I had 1 point for the longest time, but I'm starting to get up with these.
So I had Casey to win, finished T31, played solid all week, and Patrick Reed top 20, finished T9 obviously. So I'll start with my best bet. I got Rory to win at where his odds? His odds are, sorry about that, plus 1,500. So he's one of the top guys. I think he's won here twice before. I feel like he just turns it on in the playoffs every year. He's won the FedEx Cup multiple times over the past 4 years. He's just one of those guys who is going to compete in the playoffs. And he hasn't played great since the restart, but I think player of his talent, he's due for a great week. I think I feel like it could come and just him just go out and blow everyone out of the water. I can definitely see that happening with Rory this week.
Right.
I don't like him this week.
I like your reasoning behind that. I don't love Rory because obviously he hasn't been playing as great, and I'm more of a guy I see results, then all of a sudden I go with that guy. But I haven't really seen many results from Rory this year, but I agree with that. He turns it on in the playoffs. He's due for a win at some point.
He's due.
All the other top guys are winning events, so you kind of look for Rory to win another one.
I could also see him maybe he won't win, but I could also see him playing a lot better than he has in recent weeks, and kind of like I said, turn it on for the playoffs.
Also,
and
course horse. He's a
course horse. Obviously. So should
I'll go with my winner first. So my winner. I was struggling to pick a winner this week because there's a lot of guys in this field, and it's such a really strong field, and obviously you're looking at course history and other stuff, and I kind of tried to stay away from the course history, to be honest. I'm gonna go with Daniel Berger at 30-1. He's been so consistent all year. This course kind of seems to fit his game a little bit. He's top 25 in every major category, whether it be strokes gained approach, he's 21st. Strokes gained putting, he's 14th. I mean, he's up there, and I think he's in the top 10 in strokes gained total. I mean, 7th in par 5 scoring average can be important this week. I mean, this guy's just a solid golfer. I feel like you can never go wrong picking him to win an event, just based on how he's been playing this year, and obviously he has that win this year.
Playing 6 since the restart.
He's just been
Absolutely
playing really
insane.
good. So, I feel like you just can't go wrong with Daniel Berger. And it's such a strong field. I'm looking for a guy like Daniel Berger, Colin Morikawa to win because they've just been so consistent. They're going to play well. Where other guys like Brooks Koepka, sure he might win that one-off event, but he might not play as well in the other ones.
That's what I was gonna say. Berger, we say Colin Morikawa is very consistent, has been one of the most consistent players all year since the restart too. Berger's right up there. Berger's made every single cut pretty much, and he's competed in seems every single tournament. So he's played finished, almost as well as Morikawa.
He finished T13 at the PGA a couple weeks ago.
He was competing all weekend
too. When's the last time he missed a cut? I kind of want to see that. Has he missed a cut recently? He did miss a cut at the Memorial, but that's it. These are since coming back from the break, he's played in 5 events.
Missed one cut.
Missed one cut. These are his finishes in the 5 events. 1 at the Charles Schwab. He won the Charles Schwab. T3 at the RBC Heritage. He got cut at the Memorial, which was a tough course, whatever. T2 at the FedEx St. Jude, and T13 at the PGA Championship. So top 20 in all those events.
He's as high as they come.
Yeah, so and even before the break, he was hot. T4 at the Honda, T5 at the Pebble Beach, T9 at the Waste Management, T17 at Zoe's. I mean, he's been playing so well this year.
So, and you're going. I'll go
with my best bet. Yeah. So last week you had Patrick Reed top 20, and I'm gonna piggyback and do that second week in a row. Patrick Reed top 20, plus 150. I mean, we've talked a lot about Patrick Reed already. He's been in really good form. T9, T13 in his last two. I think 3 top 10 finishes in his last 4. He also has the 3 top 6 finishes at TPC Boston. So I mean, I like Patrick Reed at top 20. Also plus
I love
150.
Patrick Reed.
I'm surprised.
Yeah, good odds. Yeah,
But
exactly.
That just
I'm
shows
surprised
you how
with him,
good.
too.
I guess that shows you how good the field is this week.
Exactly. So I'll go my best bet. I feel like people forget about him a lot now, but Jason Day, top 20,
He's been playing
plus
so
138. He's playing ridiculous recently. He's top 10 in each of his last 4 starts. So to go through the Workday T7, the Memorial T4, the WGC FedEx St. Jude T6, PGA T4. Like he's on fire. There's no and he's played those were great fields too. The Memorial, PGA, WGC. He's played insane. Those great fields.
It's kind of amazing that with all those good finishes, it's amazing that he only sits 45th in the FedEx Cup.
Exactly. Well, before that, it was cut T45.
Right. I mean,
cut.
he found his swing. He found his putting stroke,
which I love. I love Jason Day. I love seeing Jason Day play well. And and even here at TPC Boston, he's 8 top 25s in his 11 starts here at TPC Boston. So pretty good chance he finishes top 20. I like him at plus odds too, so I like that bet a lot. Speaking of Jason Day, we have first.
Speaking of Jason, sorry, I was waiting for Pat. I was waiting for Pat to do his winner and his bets, and I'm like, oh wait, Pat's not here. Okay, so
Good.
first round leaders, like you're saying, Jason Day plus 4,000. I wanted to put him in my picks, but I couldn't really fit him in there. So when I can't fit guys into my picks, I just put him into the first round leader because they usually play well. As Trev kind of mentioned, he's found his old major championship form, where he won a couple majors. He's been really good in his last 4 starts. 17th in scoring average. He's been really good in the first rounds, the past few events. So I mean, Jason Day, you can't go wrong as first round leader. And then the second guy I'm gonna go first round leader, I'm gonna go with Tony Finau. I mean, I'm hesitant to pick him because he never wins, but first round leader is a great pick for Tony Finau every week. I feel like. He's 6th in first round scoring average, 17th in strokes gained approach, been really good form this year. As I mentioned, he's a really good starter, and then he fades in the 4th round. If you look at his scoring averages all year, rounds 1 through 3, his scoring averages are all in the top 20. Rounds 1 through 3, and then you get to his 4th round scoring averages 100 and something. So he's really not good in the 4th round. But
it's the Puerto Rico curse.
This is only the first round. So I mean, Tony Finau first round, 13th in birdie average as well. I mean, he's a good starter. So I mean, I feel like you can't. I like the first round leaders this week. I'm excited about them.
I like them too. They're looking good.
I think they're gonna do sick. They both for first round leaders this week.
Yeah. So let's go into the birdies and bogeys of the week. Jeek, I know you've been talking about this, so let's start with you.
I'm gonna go right to my bogey of the week. So last week I was in played Harbor Town. I was in Hilton Head, South Carolina. Played a couple other courses too. Didn't play that great, but my bogey of the week, number 18 at Harbor Town, is considered the widest fairway on the PGA Tour, by far, right?
Yeah. Your
boy missed the fairway.
Water?
No, on the right.
On the right side of the woods.
I was in the first cut, on the right. I had a shot in on the second hole.
Yeah,
I ended up putting it in the Patrick Diamond Memorial bunker.
Yes.
Right in front of the green.
Oh my god.
I mean, I was playing terrible last week. Oh my god. I came out first hole last week. I think I mentioned this on the podcast last week. First hole, first tee shot, stripe it down the middle of driver. Feeling good. I have pitching wedge in on the first hole. I put it to 2 inches. First hole of the entire vacation, first hole of the week. I hit a ball almost in on the first hole, and I'm I'm feeling myself. I'm gonna be sick this week. Let's go. And I shot a front 942, and I was feeling good. And then for some reason something clicked, got to the back 9, and I just played terrible. And that kind of just stuck with me the rest of the vacation. So was not a good.
It happens after you haven't played in a while. I'm going down to Harbor Town and South Carolina to play golf. I
shot in the mid 90s every time, and I should not be shooting in the mid 90s. Especially, I mean, I played from pretty much the tips at all the courses.
Yeah.
I mean, let's see here. We'll look at the yardages here. I mean, obviously they didn't even have the heritage tees up at the Harbor Town, so I was never gonna play from the heritage tees, but So I played
It'd
from
be
the
interesting to see what
Blues.
we'd shoot from those tees.
The Blue, since they didn't have the Heritage tees up, I think the Blues were playing around 6,800, so
Okay,
not that bad.
so yeah, that's a good yardage. It's a long
Right.
course.
I mean, I was shooting in like the high 40s though on
Hmm.
the nines. I mean, I just did not play well. I mean, I didn't really have any blow up holes at Harbor Town, but I just didn't play well. I wasn't hitting the ball. Like I lost my driver pretty much, and I was had to hit like three woods and three hybrids and stuff.
Yeah, and it's like it's tight
See,
there too. As we've
it
known.
is. Um, at the other course, Hilton Head National, I played 6,800. Just good. I mean, I love having the yardage because my home course is like
Yeah,
obviously it's like
5,900.
5,500 or something. And it
Yeah,
sucks.
it's a lot. It's a
Um,
lot different.
Atlantic Dunes, which is a Davis Love course. I think I played 6,600. They did have the Love tee set up, which were at like 7,100. Um,
Mhm.
those things were tight because like I don't even. I think they weren't like they put them. They like I think they just built in those tees like in random spots. So they put them
Mhm.
in. They put them in like they were their own tee boxes. Like they weren't like on the same tee box as the other one. They were their own tee boxes on every hole, and they were just like so tight and so far back. I'm like I can't play those. Whichever the guy we played with that day was like a one handicap. He was really good.
Oh, what happened? What was the guy? You said last week the guy walked off the course, right?
Oh yeah, so yeah, at Hilton Head National, the guy it started like raining a little bit, like drizzling, and like there was like some thunder in there, like South Carolina, it's like that
Yeah,
every
yeah.
night.
It's
But
like
like
just humid. Yeah.
yeah, I mean like there's some thunder in the area, but obviously like there was no sirens going off. It wasn't close. Like it was just kind of like there, and he was like, I play 100 rounds a year. I'm out. Like I don't need to play in the rain. I don't play in the rain. He just like whipped out.
That's the most like retired guy in South Carolina
Oh yeah,
like
yeah.
thing I've ever heard him
He was
like
like one of those
retire
old
live.
guys that you could tell was a very good golfer when he was younger, and then like obviously he's gotten older and like I mean he still hits the ball straight, but like not that far.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, I mean like all the people we played with last week were good. Fun to play with, like good guys. So I
Yeah.
enjoyed that.
That's all. That's all you can ask for on vacation is a
Right.
place like that. So
I
I'll
mean
get
like I was
my birdie
hesitant
and
to I was
bogey.
hesitant to be like paired up with people because like Corona and like all
Yeah.
that stuff. But like all the people we ended up
Oh
getting
yeah.
all the people we ended up getting paired up with were really good guys. So
Good.
it was a good time. So I guess that's my
That's
birdie.
perfect.
Just had a good week.
So my birdie is that I'm back at school. Uh, I
For
played golf
now.
with my friends yesterday morning.
You're back at
I
school
have
for
a couple.
now.
Yeah, for now. Like,
Where
I mean, UNC,
UNC like sent all their kids home
Chapel.
like a week into
We,
school.
we saw yesterday with Chapel Hill send their kids like no, they didn't send their kids home, but they have like online classes and
Right.
like we're like that's like we're next. Like that's gonna be us. But we Sunday night we were all there. It was like all first nights back pretty much, and we decided let's play. We're gonna get to the course at 9 a.m. on Monday morning, and we all wait like we all wake up. We're like dude, we're not gonna get there till like 10. And so we get there, and then we end up playing like a six a scramble of two teams of three, and we were
Did
still
they let you play six sums?
well, we had two separate tee
three and
times and we
three.
just combined.
Yeah,
We,
yeah.
no, we had two separate tee times, but we just combined on the first hole, and we just didn't like. But we were still behind. Like we were waiting for the group for the threesome in front of us. That's how bad they were. So, but that was like that was a lot of fun. My bogey also could be kind of a birdie. I played my last round at my home course in Connecticut, Silver Spring, with my dad, and I'm playing like decent. I shot like 37 on the front, like I was playing pretty well. And then, I was going to the nine, 3 over through 8, and
Right.
birdie 9, birdie 10, birdie 11. I'm even par, and this is like for me deja vu because I played my dad in one round of the club championship a couple years ago, and I birdied 9, birdied 10, birdied 11, and I birdied 14, and like I was like 4 under, and I had to walk in because I had to play a match later in the day, but I was playing so well. I come on 12. I'm like I could literally like I want to shoot like under par. I've never shot under par before. I want to shoot under par, and then I bogeyed like 5 out of the last 6 holes to shoot. Like like I was so disappointed. Like I could not. I got to 14 tee and I was like already like 1 over again. I'm like oh my god. Like it was just so it was so
What happened?
disappointing.
Was it your putt? Like something always goes wrong. Was it your putting? Was it your short game?
No,
Was it like just hitting
I
the ball off the
couldn't even.
tee?
Short game hasn't been great because I haven't been practicing
Oh,
that much.
my short game was so bad last week. I was
Yeah,
like
if you can't
shanking
practice short
chips.
game, it's terrible.
Like we were playing. I mean, obviously you're playing on different grass, so like the grass is a lot softer there. It's Bermuda, I think, right? And like for some reason, like in the Northeast, I'm used to being able to like kind of hit under the ball and just kind of like pop it up into the air, like on chips. When you do that in like the South, your club goes right underneath the ball and it just shanks.
Oh yeah.
So I couldn't get
the Bermuda rough is tough.
Yeah, I couldn't get used to that last week, and I was just shanking like chips all over the place. I was putting from like fairways yet because like I just couldn't chip, and it was like much easier for me to putt.
Yeah.
It was so bad. Whatever. I have all this footage from last week. I don't know what to do with it, so we'll see.
Make it in one big like vlog / compilation. It probably look pretty good. Mm-hmm.
All right.
So that's our week. Yeah, we're no Pat. Pat will be back next week. I'll be doing the podcast from Kentucky next week, as I'll be working the Kentucky Derby, which will be a lot of fun.
What could you possibly be doing there? Because there's gonna be like no spectators.
There's 25%, which is still like 20. Like I like my friends and I are talking.
I have a feeling that 25% is not gonna be like 25%.
No, it's. I mean, it's just gonna be. I feel like I'm just gonna be bored out of my mind. But
it's probably gonna be
see.
you and like all the horse trainers and stuff.
I mean, I wouldn't mind that. I'll be. Give me some horse racing odds. I'll be ready to go.
Right. Talk to my dad about that.
Yeah, exactly. I will text your dad about that. I will. I actually will.
He got another horse.
You did?
Yeah.
Is he racing? He's not gonna race the dirt
not this week.
Okay,
no.
yeah. All right, so that's our pod. We'll
see you next week at the BMW. Hopefully Pat will be back with us next week. Make sure to follow us on Instagram at the Pin High Pod. Also check out Golf with Z Bets, as we'll have skins coming out later today and some DraftKings lineups. So see you next week.
Peace.